I don't wear eye makeup, so I have flip frame. Okay, let me know when we're going to start.
I mean, technically we could start whenever because this whole part I can just cut the audio and fade the song in.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Welcome to the Behind the Dunes podcast, episode 7. I'm your host, Connor, with my co-host,
John Floyd.
And we are here with Mary Amonitti.
The fabulous Mary
The
Amonitti.
fabulous, the wonderful, the one and only
Thank you.
Mary Amonitti. Mary, how are you today?
I am fabulous. I am just blessed. I'm doing great.
So good to have you on.
Yeah, and look
Good
at
to
this
have you.
beautiful weather here
Oh
we're
my
having
gosh.
on Elmhead. Oh my God. And yesterday was just as beautiful.
Oh, it's perfect. It was about as perfect as it could be yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Weather-wise.
Absolutely wonderful.
77 and sunny, something like that.
What'd you do yesterday, Mary?
Well, we had a grand event. It's the Property Owners Association first annual spring barbecue. And I think everybody came out. It was awesome.
Where'd they have it?
Beautiful. At the center court.
Oh,
We
okay.
had the inside and the outside filled out. A lot of corn on the cob, fried chicken,
Oh, man.
pulled pork,
We
potato
always end up talking
salad,
about food.
fried green tomatoes.
I'm so hungry.
It's 9 in the morning. We won't barbecue now.
Man, I didn't eat breakfast today.
That sounds so
Mary's
good.
talking about food.
That's awesome. So that was just basically owners and Palmetto Dunes. We were all invited
Yeah.
to come out.
Yep.
That's a good day for it.
Yep, it was a great day, and I think it's going to, just going forward, it's going to be great because met so many people there, people that, second homeowners, that a lot of those down here right now.
Mm-hmm.
Second homeowners, yeah. Yeah, I have to give a shout out to Dunes Real Estate because a lot of people I met, I said, who is your realtor? And they would give me names. I'm not going to call any names right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this is my show.
But they named a lot of people with us.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's cool.
And they think that Dunes Real Estate is just great. The service that we provide is just really great.
Yeah.
I mean, we are pretty great.
We are great.
All right, we're going to pause real quick. I need you to come closer to the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can scoot up maybe. There you go.
Okay, now talk.
Is that good?
A little closer.
Little closer.
Better,
Good
yeah.
God, the thing will be down my throat.
There we go. There we go. I just don't want the echo because your voice is so, you project it so well.
Oh, thank you.
It kind of, in this room, it's not sound treated, so it echoes.
Okay.
And I want you to sound as the best that you can.
Okay. Appreciate that.
Yes. All right. So
John, how is little Calvin?
there we go.
He's great.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
he's great.
just look forward to seeing
I need to.
your son.
We'll have some events soon, and we'll have I'll bring him around, and I mean he's
Awesome.
walking and running and all that, so he'll be all over the place. Because I think the last picnic we had, he wasn't walking, so he was pretty limited.
We're holding hands.
Everybody was walking him
Yeah.
around and stuff, but now he can do it on his own. So
Oh, good.
yeah.
He started running, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh, God.
he's running, crawling, climbing, whatever. I mean anything and everything. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then his favorite thing now is, I'm giving him baseball bats, like a little for T-ball set, and we have a little golf club set. But he doesn't really like hit the ball the way it should be or hit it. He just runs around swinging it around, and he's got the golf club, and it's flailing. He's hitting me in the legs, like knocking my kneecaps and stuff. So,
I had one of those clubs when I was little, and I broke the rear view mirror in my mom's car.
Oh.
Yeah.
yeah, we got many of those days coming, I'm sure.
Yeah. I hear about that story all the time.
Yeah. Well, how's everything with you and your family?
My
Everything good?
family is doing great. That college thing really gets deep in your pockets.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my grandkids are like going off to college. Got one graduating this year, one going to be graduating from college next year, and then I have 3 girls coming up in 2 years that'll be graduating. These are granddaughters,
Yeah.
not mine.
Yeah. Well, still, congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you.
That is awesome.
that's
Proud of
very
them.
cool.
Yes, yes. None
Where
of
are all
them-
they located?
Well, I have, my son lives in Florida,
Okay.
and my daughter and my grown granddaughter, who have my great-grandchildren, they live in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, I just helped my granddaughter put an offer in on a house in Virginia, but she already had a realtor up there, which is a relative of her husband.
I
But
gotcha.
every day
Tried
she's
to help
sending
her
me
out
a-
with-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's exciting, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of
I mean,
changes.
housing is just booming everywhere.
Yeah.
in Virginia, they're running.
Same where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're there, like in Fredericksburg, and they're building a train to come all the way from D.C. to Fredericksburg, and it's like Bluffton in development, but
wow.
they're on steroids up there.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
And that blows my mind too, because like, I guess I just don't know those areas enough to know that a bunch of people maybe are moving there too. Like here, it's understandable because people are flocking here.
Yeah.
So you understand like the housing is going to be tough to find, but it's like that everywhere. I'm like, how can people be moving everywhere?
Well, they're pricing people out.
I guess
of
there's just a
DC.
shortage in general. But
Yeah. Yeah, Upper Virginia, that's close to D.C., the prices are outrageous. So a lot of people now are still working from home, and they are moving further south in Virginia, and that's an area that they're moving
That
to.
DMV metro area is
Yeah.
awful.
Crazy,
For
yeah.
like traffic and like trying to get to work because everybody and their mother in Northern Virginia, Maryland, DC, they all
Yep.
work in like one area. It's terrible.
It is.
Everywhere except Houston, I guess, because we were talking before the podcast, and I went to Houston 2 weekends ago in Asia, and that was our first time like away from the baby. But we stayed in a little Airbnb in a beautiful neighborhood, and homes were just so much character, and every one of them was beautiful, looked different. And so we're thinking, oh, these homes, man, they're probably 1.5 million. Like I'm just calculating in my head as I'm walking down the street looking at it. And we pull them up. Most of them are 350,000, 400. And I said, I guess we're moving to Houston. So,
No.
but it just blew my mind. And I'm like, God, it's gotten so good. Like, you know, what prices are in even Bluffton now, or more than that for just a little quick build home. So, man, it's crazy.
Took some clients last week to a development in Bluffton. I won't call their name, but we're talking about 3 years before you can build, before you can get a bill.
I could see it.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yes,
Probably
yes.
do too. Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
It
That
is.
wait list.
Oh, that
my
wait
God.
list is over 300.
Yeah. And people are still getting on it. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's
They're
crazy.
waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you go out there, it's like being at a carnival in the sales office.
So like when they're on that wait list, it doesn't lock them into what the price is now, right?
No,
Absolutely not.
So if the price is tripled,
They started doing that because they didn't want to miss out on.
That's right.
The prices kept rising so rapidly that they're like, we can't lock you in, and your home's not going to be ready for a year and a half.
That's right.
And you're paying this price when by the time it's done, it's going to be worth way more.
so you might get locked in thinking it's going to cost $500.
Now, I think they may lock you in when you get a little closer.
they lock you in when
You know,
get
when you're a few
close.
months out, they'll probably lock you
Yeah.
in. This is the price. Here's the base. Here's
Yeah,
what you
yeah.
want to add and everything.
So it's like you get on the wait list thinking the home's going to be $350, and it ends up costing you $600 when you finally get on it.
yeah, but I've been out there. They'll tell you.
Yeah.
They won't tell you how much, but they'll say we can't. Obviously, if prices are rising, by the
Right.
time your wait list is up and it's your turn, I mean, it's probably going to be more. You know, just prepping you. So they're at least honest and upfront with them. But yeah, I don't know if people realize how much they're going up.
Well, all I would say to the people is make sure you take a realtor out there with you to protect your interests.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's good advice, Mary.
Let me tell you, I've been around a long time. Been around the block a few times in
Yeah.
real estate stuff. You want to have your own realtor when you go into these developments.
Yeah. Do you do a lot of new construction?
No, not really.
Not much.
But I'm
I
starting.
guess because there's
to
not a
get-
whole lot on the island like there is
No,
out there.
there
but-
isn't. I mean, the island is just. People were asking me yesterday, "Well, Mary, you all don't have any real estate, do you? Not any listings. I mean, they're very few and far between, and by the time you get it listed, it's sold."
Yep.
So,
It's not like it was 3 years ago, and there was a stack of bunch of properties, and you could choose, and some would stay on the market for like 3 weeks, a month, whatever. Now it's
yeah,
like a week at max,
a week.
maybe a day. Who knows?
Yeah, I was about to say, not a week. I love when people come into the office and they're like, "Do y'all have anything printed like with homes
time.
that I could like
Yeah.
take with me?"
No.
No. What do you mean? You don't have? No. I'm like, because if I did, they'd all would have sold already.
Yes.
Not even under contract. They would have already closed more than likely for what I handed you. So.
That's true.
Because you got
That
people
is
trying
so
to
true.
close earlier to win, bidding wars. Hey, we'll
Yes.
close in 25 days. We'll close in 21 days, and
14
whatever they can
cash,
make do.
14 days.
Yeah.
closed.
So stuff. I mean,
Yes.
it's sold. It's not
Because
even.
we used to have all the
under
listings
contract.
in the window,
Yeah.
and it got to the point where we couldn't even keep them in the window because they
Yeah.
were just going so fast. So now it's just like a nice information graphic.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Is that the right term?
let's go to something else you can put in the window. My garden. My pot garden.
You can put photos of it?
Vegetable pots.
Please
And,
tell us about your garden.
oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I was born and raised and lived on a farm till I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And so we raised everything.
Where were you born?
Greenwood, South Carolina.
That's right.
Greenwood.
Yeah. Not far from me.
No, you were in Greenville.
Spartanburg.
Spartanburg.
Yeah, so probably,
Okay.
30 minutes? Something like that? 35?
Yeah.
I'm not from South Carolina.
Yeah,
You're
It's in
from
the more upper part of the
Pennsylvania,
state.
right?
No, Maryland.
Maryland. Oh, I don't know why I was thinking you were from Pittsburgh. Great place to be from, anyway. But my father always had a garden. And so I said, I am going to plant an early spring garden. So I was out at, I'm going to say this, Lowe's, because they had the best vegetables that you can pick up and plant. And I guess it was, Saturday was the 2nd? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday was this.
Yeah, yesterday was the 3rd.
Yeah.
So Saturday would have been
Saturday was the 2nd, which was my dad's birthday. In honor of my father, I went out and picked my lettuce and spinach, and I looked at my broccolini plant, and there is the little broccolini heads down there in there, and I'm getting ready to have Brussels sprouts, and my collard greens are huge.
Oh.
So don't tell anybody where I live because people become trying to
yes.
steal my vegetables.
so hungry
You know,
right now.
you go to the store and
I'll have to come
and
by
you
and
got-
have some collards with you.
Yeah, right.
It's like one of my favorite foods.
and also I have cauliflower. So
So what all do you have? Collards, cauliflower,
broccolini, Brussels sprouts,
You have
spinach,
pictures,
and
right?
lettuce. Yes.
All right, I'll put them up
Oh,
for
good.
people who are
That's awesome.
watching.
Yes.
So send
And,
those
Just
to
to
me.
eat healthy.
you know,
like that.
you can eat healthier just by putting plants in pots
Mm-hmm.
if you have a little space. Because some of these areas you can't plant a garden, but you can do a pot garden.
Yeah.
And I always specify it is a vegetable pot garden. Because when I first said I was going to grow a pot garden, and they said, I didn't know that was legal in South Carolina.
It took you a second to realize what she was getting at.
Yeah, it did.
I was
wasn't
trying not to
following.
start
It's
laughing.
too early. I was
You're
just like,
slow. You're
nah,
slow.
so slow. Well, I told him
Let's
baby
have
didn't
some
sleep
more
much last
coffee.
night. So
You need some more coffee.
this is my first cup over here. So. But it won't be long, I'm sure, before it is legal. So just hang out for another maybe year.
Well, I'm going to have some more coffee because, John, you were really slow on that.
Yeah, I
As young
was.
as you are, you were a little
I was.
slow on that. Out of my Dooms real estate cup.
There you go.
See?
Nice cup.
Yeah, mine has 3 colors.
And that can be a koozie.
Yeah?
Yeah, you can use it, put a little drink in and stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, I love those cups.
Yeah,
They're so good.
very handy.
They are good. Are you all giving them away to the guests this morning?
You already have one.
That's a good question. I'll call Kelly when
Caught
we're
that
done.
real quick,
Yeah.
didn't you?
Wow, you didn't get the joke, but you got that.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm waking up.
Well, yeah.
It's kicking in.
And I'm going to be, I have lots of herbs also, and my rosemary is growing out of control, so I'm going to be bringing some of that fresh rosemary to the office. Anybody can have it. I'll
Yeah.
just have
We
it.
got some rosemary at the house. That's nice.
And when you're baking salmon,
Yeah.
put a sprig of rosemary on it. It's delicious.
And that's cool though, because you know you live in Hilton Head Island. There's not a ton of places here that have a lot of land, so you can go out there. So the fact that like,
Right.
hey, it can still be done.
Yeah.
You know, just a little bit of effort and creativity,
Yeah.
and you can have a garden no matter where you're at.
Yeah, living
even
in
in Hilton Head
Pembina.
Island with
Yeah, Pembina Dunes. I wish we had a space where we could have a
like a community.
community garden. Port Royal has one now. You know, Hilton Head Plantation has
Plantation,
a huge one. Sea Pine.
So how does that work?
I don't think
With
they
the community
charge them for
ones?
space.
I think they allow you to come plant.
Yes,
like
but you
that.
have to register to get a spot because there's
So
like
somebody
a
just
waiting
can't
list
come
sometimes.
like take your stuff because it's like
Oh, no.
designated like this spot to this spot is
Yeah.
Mary's,
Yeah.
this spot to this spot is John's. Okay.
But then I think if I'm not mistaken, I think they have like maybe events to say like, hey, this weekend we're going to host a community garden
yeah.
like event where you can go buy from
Yeah.
everybody else or something like that, or you could just trade. But that way you get access to other people's, you know,
You
whatever
get
they're
and
growing
fresh
too.
fruits and vegetables. They have
Interesting.
yes, they have their own little garden. It's
Pretty big deal, I
huge.
think.
It's huge.
Yeah,
I think the one in Sea Pines may be larger. I'm not sure.
probably
But
a little
it's
more.
really nice.
land
And then
there.
Port Royal decided to have one. So if we can find a spot spot in PD. I'm going to be first in line to get a spot.
Yeah, but that may come maybe somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll find it. And and again, that's cool. You don't head on. We don't have a ton of farmland, but you can even in Sea Pines, one of the biggest resorts. You can have one.
Since you're an expert pot gardener, I had to make that joke.
I got it that time.
We'll have to laugh at John.
Yeah.
If John and I wanted to start our own vegetable pot garden, how would one start to do that? Like, what are the steps? Because I actually do want to start growing my own vegetables.
Okay.
For like salads and stuff like that. Like I love peppers and whatnot. Maybe grow some jalapenos. So
just call me. I'll help you.
Okay.
You need to buy some pots. You got to have big pots.
Okay.
Big pot. Or you don't have to buy pots. If you know a painter and he uses a lot of 5-gallon buckets, just get those. They're great for pot
I
garden.
do know a painter.
Oh,
Father-in-law is a painter.
Yeah. So you get these 5-gallon containers.
Yeah.
And you put a stone in the bottom because you don't want the roots to rot. Too much water stay in there. So put stones in the bottom, put a few little holes in there so they'll drain out.
Right.
But it's easy. Buy some soil. You want to have good soil. And then you buy your plants. You can start with seedlings. You can buy a little packet of seeds. And you can make your own little seedlings. And I can show you how to do that out of cardboard. And that way you don't have to go out and buy things. When you grow up on a farm, don't have a lot of money, you get very creative. That's why I like, I love doing arts and crafts. I love creating things.
How long is it taking to grow everything?
Well,
is
it
it pretty quick?
It depends. Unless you have a great sprinkler system, you do not want to plant anything after May on Hilton Head without having a water source. It gets
With
really hot,
Yeah.
the heat. But I planted my, they were plants already. I didn't start with the seeds. And that was like the 1st of March. And I used Miracle Grow, and then I put some Miracle Grow food on it. And they're almost out of control. They're so big.
Oh, wow.
They are really, really growing, really.
So like a month.
Greens
And
and
you
everything.
got,
Yeah. And the spinach, the spinach and my salad, my butternut salad is like every couple of days I'm picking leaves from it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to talk to Ace. We're going to have to step our game. I mean, we have a lime tree, which is cool because we go get limes, when we need them to
you got a lime
cook.
tree?
We got a lime tree. And we got an orange tree. The orange tree hasn't, actually produced anything yet.
Right.
It looks good, but nothing's come off. But the lime tree's been popping them out, so we just go and get it and cook with it.
I haven't seen anything in the office. There are other people.
Oh, well, I don't have that many.
fruit
I get like
trees.
4, and then I get another 2, and then I get 3, and it's not like it's producing that.
How
But
long
for
does it take
us,
them
just
to
to
grow?
cook, it takes a little while. The first one to come up, it took months. And then when it finally did, it was like, here's one. It was a little tiny thing, and then a month later, I had maybe 4 that were primed and ready to go. And then we have in the yard we planted oregano, rosemary, a lot of that stuff. So we go cook with that as well. But we don't have enough to physically eat. So we're gonna have to expand our
And
yard.
The herbs look like flowers almost. The
Yeah.
plants
So
are
then it's
beautiful.
pretty. Yeah.
But let me tell you, those rosemary bushes can become hedges.
Oh gosh, ours is taking off. I have to keep trimming it down and stuff. It's like trying to grow up on the house. It's a lot.
Because I
Smells
was thinking
good, though.
about just donating some of my rosemary from my other bush that I had. I got rid of that one to different restaurants and say, hey, I don't like to waste.
Yeah.
When you grow up
Yeah, they
very
grow.
little, you want to donate it to someone that can use it. Yeah.
And then we put 2 lemongrasses right next to our deck beside the rosemary, and it looked good. And we have landscaping beside the end of the deck, which looks good. But the lemongrass, once they kick in, by the end of the season, before they kind of die off in the winter, I mean, it completely provides 100% privacy because they grow so big so fast. So then they're growing up, and they're probably 4 feet tall. And so when we sit on the deck, you can't even see the neighbors or anything.
But
anymore,
you can
so it
grow
works well.
bananas here also.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a banana tree.
Yes,
I
there's
saw
banana
one
trees here.
by my in-laws' my in-laws.
I've seen them, yeah. I'd like to have some bananas. We eat a lot of bananas.
We were out walking the dogs, and Dad reaches over. He's like, "You want a banana?" Just grabs it as we're walking. I'm like,
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, see, there's a many. I always tell people, and a lot of people that I know have moved here from the cities, and we're talking, and they'll say, if something happens, how are you all going to survive? They think they got a lot of money to survive. Well, I said they think they have a lot of money to survive. If you don't have skills in growing and hunting, you're going to starve. Don't come to my house. And
Mary's not starving.
My great-grandfather taught me how to shoot a gun. And he would come around and he'd take us into the wood. He was the first person that gave me my first chewing tobacco, too. Yeah, went home sick. Yep. My mom was very upset with him because he just cut off the knife and gave us a little sliver. He said, now don't swallow it. Just put it in the side of your mouth.
How old were you?
I was about 6, 7. And he just cut off a little sliver because he chewed tobacco. And he put the little sliver in there, and all of our mouths watered up. And we started swallowing.
Oh, no, you swallowed it.
It was, we were like throwing up. But back then, people chewed tobacco.
I was about to say, it wasn't a big deal, probably. It was just everybody chewed tobacco.
Yeah,
so
they carried
you got to learn sometime.
The Maxwell House coffee can empty with them because, that is the spittoon.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't have the fancy ones, so they just Maxwell House can.
Yeah. That's the trick. That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
6 years old. I thought you were going to be like 13, 15.
No! He was great. He always had stories to tell. And he taught his granddaughters and grandsons, great-grandkids, how to shoot a gun, how to skin a rabbit, that sort of thing.
Yep.
I have a slingshot at my house. I can take a bird out of a tree with it, or a squirrel. More likely squirrels.
Yeah.
They're bigger targets.
Yeah, a little easier.
But we used to, we would make our own slingshots. And you use a piece of leather because you have the rubber. And then you would put a rock in it. See, a lot of people fancy. They use marbles.
Yeah.
We had rocks all around.
Grab a rock.
Just take it out. Ping! Knock them right out of the tree. I didn't eat squirrel, but there were people in our neighborhood on the farm that ate squirrel.
So, I've actually never shot a slingshot before.
You never shot a slingshot?
Really?
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of stuff you haven't done.
Yeah, I was going to say,
learning about
this podcast is going to turn into
every
a lot of things
podcast.
that
Connor's like, I haven't done that. I haven't done that. I'm like,
I can grow your food. I can shoot your animal, trap a rabbit, all sorts of things like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad that's kind of like gone away.
Sling a chicken, like they say, chicken with the head cut off.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
With chicken with his head cut off? I did when I was very young because my grandparents had a farm.
Yeah. You ever
I
seen
think
a
probably
chicken
scarred
with
me for
his
life.
head cut? Yep, you pick that chicken up by his feet. You hold it like that. He's going to stick that neck out. Chop. And then he jumps all around. Yeah. Yep. I'm a farm girl. I'm telling you. I can't get the farm out of me.
No.
You ever seen when you take a chicken and if you turn it upside down and draw a line, it paralyzes it? It like puts it into like this deep trance?
I've heard about that.
Yeah. Like a shark?
Yeah. So like if you take
turn the shark upside down
if you take the chicken and you turn it upside down and then you draw a line from its beak out, it just like
stays there.
It's just like a zombie. It just like stays.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
This man gun.
Alligators do that too. There's, I guess a lot of animals just in defense. It's just like, okay.
I wouldn't really call it defense, but
oh, did you say alligator does it?
Yeah, I mean, there's videos of that. Like, they flip the sharks over and they kind of go into a trance. But I've seen them do it some with like an alligator, and then once they get them flipped over a little bit and they're doing something like that, like they're kind of just like sitting there. I guess that's the give up feature. It's just like, all right, it's over.
Have you seen how they hibernate?
Who?
Gators, when it's cold.
What do they do?
They basically sit like straight up with just their snout pointing out of the water.
Really?
Oh. Yeah.
They
use
sleep standing up.
Yeah. Just like it's too cold, so they go into like this like.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert on this topic, but they just go whoop, and then their nose sticks out, and that's how they breathe, and they just chill. Yeah.
I've never seen that.
And they just stay there for a long period of time?
Yeah. Because we have one in one of the lagoons in our neighborhood, and when it was cold, like you just see like this like snout sticking out of the water.
So do they do like bears? You think, where they just eat a bunch to prep for
That's
hibernation?
what I hear. That's what I hear.
Do they still hunt when it's wintertime, or
No.
or they're just
I
very
think
dormant?
I think they just hibernate.
I think they hibernate.
Yeah, because you don't really see them once winter comes around. But
Yeah.
Alligator hibernation.
Oh my gosh, he's got to look it up now.
Yeah.
this time of the year, it's
they
kind of
just,
the. Oh yeah,
They just like stick.
Oh, is that from?
I've never seen
the
one do it.
lagoon where you live?
No.
Oh, you
It
just.
never ices here, Mary.
Yes, it does. I mean, it doesn't ice, but it gets cold.
Oh, it gets cold, but it's not enough to freeze over the lagoon.
No.
Except for that one time, maybe when was it? 2018 when it snowed.
It snowed on the beach and everything.
Like an inch. That was pretty wild.
Well, back in 1989, I think it was, they had 3 inches of snow on Hilton Head. You never heard about that?
I wasn't alive, so
The Marriott in Palmetto Dunes.
That was that was
used
the
to
last time
have
it had
the
snow before that
pictures.
time.
Yeah, people were snapping pictures and everything.
I'm sure.
And they had these chairs that were on like a porch. The snow was piled up. It was beautiful, beautiful black and white pictures.
that would actually
of
be
something
really
like that.
cool to see.
Yeah.
Snow in Hilton Head, especially now with like all that.
Well, it
stuff
snowed
that's
a
developed.
couple of years ago because I took videos to send to my grandchildren. Or
It
something.
was like what, like an inch and a
Yeah.
half?
It was pretty good though.
Yeah,
But it was
'Cause
gone.
I remember it was
but
on the beach, which was wild
yeah.
to see.
But it was gone like.
Yeah, it went
Yeah.
quick.
It was
yeah.
one of those northeasterner storms that
Yeah.
blew the snow.
And I think we might
over
even
here.
got more in Bluffton because I had a good bit
did.
at my house, and like you could see like my fire pit. How I mean, it was good,
Right.
and then my dog was out there just loving it, just playing on it because he never could see snow. So
Oh, wow.
What is this?
he was just diving all around. So it was,
When we were kids, we didn't have snow in Greenwood, but it would have those freak snow, and it would snow, and it would be like real fluffy snow. My mother used to tell us to run outside and with these metal pans, and put the snow in it, and then she'd come out and sprinkle some sugar and vanilla extract, and we have ice cream.
Oh.
We had snow cones. I'm telling you.
That's actually.
It was
Wow.
delicious.
I'm sure.
You know, Dixie crystal sugar and some vanilla extract stirred up because it wasn't going to last long.
Yeah.
And so we had like snow cones of ice cream. We all had our little pans with it.
So how did you get to Hilton Head from Greenwood? What brought you here?
Well, I moved from South Carolina to Pennsylvania. Well,
Okay.
along the way, I stayed a couple of years in New York, in Massachusetts, and came back to South Carolina. I said, this is not going to work for me. And I moved to Pennsylvania and was there until 2000 and came here. When I met my husband, he had already been coming to Hilton Head. I grew up in South Carolina, never knew about Hilton Head.
Right.
Knew about Myrtle Beach, but, you know, my dad didn't let the girls far from the house, so we never got to Myrtle Beach either. Did I tell you I'm one of 18 kids?
You did not.
I don't know if maybe
one
you
of
told me
18.
that. I don't,
You said you had a big family, but I didn't know you had
Yeah.
18.
18 siblings.
Yeah, 11 girls and 7 boys.
So you do
And
have
you
family
know who
everywhere.
ruled.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know who ruled? The girls.
Oh yeah.
The girls. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And at church yesterday, it was so wonderful. This couple, they come here every year, school break, and they are from Indiana. They had 12 kids. They took up a whole row behind me. And when, you know how they say in church, turn around and greet
Greet each other,
everyone, you know.
Yeah.
May the Lord be with you, also with you. And
It's a lot of them to go down the line.
and there were these 12 kids. It was marvelous. The mom and dad was telling me they come here for 2 weeks every year. Their school break is only 1 week, but that they come and stay for 2 weeks. And every year that they come to my church. And let me just put a little plug in there. Hilton Head Presbyterian, PCA, right across from the school campus, elementary school campus. There were 12 kids. I have not seen that many kids
Yeah.
from a family since my family.
Yeah.
I need
see
to
them
know
all
the
at
logistics.
one time.
Do they fly here? Do they drive?
I
Do they drive
didn't.
2 separate vehicles?
I didn't.
need to
You
know.
Oh,
almost
no.
need 3 vehicles.
Yeah.
That's 4
No.
or 5 per. Yeah. That's,
Yeah, but you can rent
you
like
got
a
2 parents too, so it's 14
yeah.
of them.
So you can rent like a 16-seat van.
Yeah.
They could rent.
I
Like
don't
15,000,
think
yeah.
they flew. I think they.
That's a lot to fly. To try
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
Keep everybody together. And
Yeah.
Do you take like do you rent a van, or do you have like 2 Suburbans or like 2 Tahoes?
Mom drives one, dad drives the
Yeah.
other. I don't
And
know.
guess what? All these kids are under 20.
Wow.
I need to know now.
Yeah, you never see that anymore.
Oh, I
because
wanted
I thought my mom's one of 6, and that to me was always like a huge family, and we always had big family reunions.
I wanted to take
12 and then 18.
picture. Yeah, it was just so. I just told him. I said, "This just makes me so happy." And when I told him I was one of 18, and several of the kids at one time, "What number are you?" I said, "I'm number 15." It was awesome. So we moved down. We came to visit a lot.
Right.
And when my husband had said before I met him that he wanted to move to Hilton Head, South Carolina. So when we started dating, he said, "Well, if this gets serious, would you be willing to move back to South Carolina?" I said, "That was my plan all along. I was going to move back and own my family's home," which I did at the time, and live there. So when I came to Hilton Head, and we shared a house with some other friends, it was like an investment property.
Right.
And then we decided to get our own place when we sold that. So in 98, we came here and we purchased. And when I walked in the Dunes Real Estate office, I saw South Regional Medical Center picture. They had these big pictures of Greenwood, some of the textile mills. There were like 13 textile mills one time in my city, in Greenwood. And there was Self Memorial Hospital, and they were pouring concrete for the foundation. When I looked at this one picture, I said, "My dad is in that picture."
No. In the photo.
In the photo. My dad was driving the cement truck that when he poured the cement into the elevator shaft. That was the photo. My dad had told us about that. And he was a farmer, but he also worked in the textile mills. And my dad did a lot of things. I think I got that from him. People always say, "You got to be doing something all the time." I said, "I do. I just can't be still." My husband said if I was in school now, they would be giving me medication.
Yeah.
I said, "See, they didn't have to give you medication back then because kids worked. We did things. We played outside, so you don't need all this medication."
Yeah.
Like
And got your energy out because you're working.
Yeah. And out of 18 kids, not a one ever broke a leg or arm, nothing. We
That's
climbed
impressive.
trees. We went fishing. We used to go to the creek and collect tadpoles. I mean, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, go swimming in the fish. There was a fishing camp next to the farm where we were, and there were 3 holding ponds. So they would feed those ponds where the people would be fishing. This is a good story, but it's kind of a sad story in a way, because when I was growing up, this is going to tell people how old I am, not how old I think I am, but how old I am physically on the birth certificate. It was during the time of segregation. And so when they would empty those fishing ponds, we'd go play in the ponds. And I couldn't swim. And my brother, to this day, I'm afraid of muddy water because of my brother going to teach me to swim. But there would be water moccasins like on the bank and so forth. So my brother would get my dad's shotgun, and we'd go down to the 3 holding ponds, and, you know, if there was like moccasins out there, he'd pop them.
And then you go swim?
Yeah.
Man, I hate
And
snakes.
my brother took me out on his back, and I guess I was 7 by then. He said, "Today you are going to learn to swim." I said, "No, I can't." And I'm holding on to his neck, and he just turned and flipped me off, and all I saw was muddy water. Next thing I know, he is beating my chest like a drum. Because I swallowed this water.
He's trying to get it out.
He was going to make sure he couldn't go home and tell my daddy.
No.
He threw me in the water, and I drowned.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh, for years I had
I think that's back then. That was swim training, though. You just throw them in the water, and they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Sink or swim, baby.
Yeah, sink
Have
or
fun.
swim. But we really, really had fun. And so, yes, my dad was in that picture.
So when you were seeing that at the office,
Yes.
were you going there to inquire like on working, or were y'all looking to buy a place and you saw the photo?
We had already had a
or-
realtor that we had talked to, and I knew what I wanted. And so we went to the office to write up,
Oh, okay.
I wasn't here to write up a contract. We just, when we went to the office to sign the contract because we came down for vacation, and then we went back. But I saw that big photo. They used to have a lot of big photos of Greenwood community in the rotunda. And so when I saw that, I said, oh, my God. But I couldn't tell which was my dad out there because he looked like y'all. Get that, John? Did John get that now? John is a little slow, but I know you got it immediately.
No, I didn't get it. No.
John's face is all red now. Yeah. But, yeah. So my dad, I couldn't figure, because they all had on coveralls. Yeah, they all had on coveralls, and they had on caps. Yeah, my dad was in that picture because that was the day they poured the concrete for the elevator shaft.
Yeah. That's kind of wild, too, because you're in Hilton Head Island, and there's, I know Greenwood development, but there's pictures of Greenwood. Yeah. Like, if somebody walked in nowadays and we had that, they'd be like, why do you have, what is this? This isn't Hilton Head. It'd be kind of weird to people.
Yeah, and then.
But it is cool because it was showing the history of the company.
Right, the history of the company. And what happened, I went in the office one day, and all the pictures were gone. And I said to Bill Baldwin, who was broker at that time, I said, where are all those pictures? I want that picture of my dad there. Yeah,
What'd they do with them? They just took them.
Nobody knows where the picture went. That's what they told me. Oh, we don't know. They came in and they took them, and nobody knows where they are. And so I was asking around because I wanted that picture.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Even to put in your office or something?
Yeah,
that would have been really cool.
Because Greenwood is a beautiful city. Great small town. Everybody knows everybody, and it's just a wonderful place to live. Have you ever been?
I wonder if Bubba and them would ever have, like, they may have, like, copies of that stuff just from over the years.
I think I asked him at one time.
I guess that's kind of hard.
He didn't know, what they did with them because, they were management people here then, and Bubba wasn't here then.
What were you asking me if I've been where? To the actual?
Greenwood.
To their location?
Greenwood.
Or just to Greenwood?
The town.
I've been to Greenwood. I used to play football there, and growing up, we'd always go up there.
And Greenwood High would beat you all.
No, not at all.
Oh, come on.
Not at all.
Come on. Oh.
Now, they would beat us before I got to my junior and senior year, but we had very good teams when I was
until John got there.
No, it had nothing to do with me. I was lucky to be blessed with a very good team. I mean, we had on our football team, if you calculated everybody, we probably had 12 to 13 people that went and played D1 football.
Yeah.
And then we had myself included and four other guys that played college baseball, and one of them's pitching in the pros still. Like, we had just talent. I don't know where it came from that little small town, but it was.
Well, small towns.
Greenwood might have got us once. I can't remember. They always had such a good team.
I'm going to go back and do some research. I don't believe that.
And ours might have even been like, how they had jamborees growing up, where it was like you'd play a preseason half or something. It might have even been some of that because we weren't in the same regions.
Let me
or
tell
any of
you,
that stuff,
there are quite a few football players from Greenwood that are in the NFL right now and have been in the past. So
a bunch have gone to Clemson and played there. They just picked up another guy
South Carolina
from there this year.
State University, South Carolina, and other schools that are in the NFL. They produce a lot of great football players.
It's good sports up there. Well, that
Greenwood County.
Yeah.
Let me be very specific. Greenwood County, because you got Lawrence, McCormick. I mean, all these different counties around there. Yeah, it's a great place. And Greenwood Lake is where people do a lot of boating.
Oh, I've been there many times too.
Yeah,
buddy of mine growing up, he was a wakeboarder, but he actually became like a kind of like professional wakeboarder. Like he went on all the tours, but his parents had a place up at Lake Greenwood, so he'd go up there and that's where he kind of practiced.
Yeah.
So we got to go a lot to his place and spend time at Lake Greenwood. And we've rented some places up there. It's beautiful.
It is.
I wouldn't mind getting a place up there and at some point when
you need a good
for the
realtor.
Family, so, yeah, probably.
I can help you.
I'll call you when the time comes. Might be another 20 years, but we'll find a place up there.
Oh, they have some great buys up there. I wish we had a sister company up there because I'll tell you right now, there are a lot of opportunities for like buying, renovating, and
like almost flipping them.
Flipping homes.
Yeah, making them nicer and selling them. Yeah.
One of my dreams was to buy homes in Greenwood, and to because there's a shortage of like nursing home. People want to stay in their houses. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to renovate the homes and make them all ADA compliant, where people could live in them and stay home. Mm-hmm. They have family that want to live with them and not have people just be stuck in a nursing home.
Yeah.
And there's tons of those homes. If you go to Greenwood, it is the way Greenwood was designed is beautiful. They had all these red brick homes around all of the mills that they had there. They had housing for people that they work, live, and play in this little town. So when you go up there, I would think it's probably the capital city of the United States for red brick houses. Mm. And they were built well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna blow away.
No.
No,
I don't think so, but it is a great. I wish I had some pictures of it that you could put up from my hometown. It's a great place. And it's only a 4-hour drive from here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take a weekend trip and go check it out.
Oh, yeah.
I need to explore our state more.
South Carolina, yeah.
Yeah, just see what the history of Greenwood is.
There's a lot up there. You ever go to Greenville?
Golf.
Yeah. Because like downtown Greenville's much nicer than when I was growing up and stuff. It's a really cool place now. Even Spartanburg's much nicer.
Oh, yeah.
I go home now, and they've got beautiful restaurants and bars, and they revitalize all of downtown. None of that was there when I lived there, but there's a lot of places in the state you can go.
Yeah, in Greenville, they have, where my aunt used to live, and I spent summers there sometime, she lived in a house that was really built up, and there was this stream that went along. Well, you go there now, that is part of the walking artist area. Beautiful area. Greenville has some great places.
Oh, I need to go check out Greenville,
Oh,
too.
you would love it. You would love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spend like a weekend, just get a hotel in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. We had a lady that used to work at the office on weekends. Were you there when she was there? She only worked on the weekends.
Pam?
Yeah.
Yeah. She mostly worked Sundays when I was
Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah. And she moved to Greenville.
Oh, did you? I didn't even think I knew where she moved, but I knew she retired. So.
She didn't really retire. Her husband got a
is that why
and they decided they loved Greenville, so they decided to move there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of people moving there.
Yeah, I know quite a few people from here that
somebody just left Asia's work. That worked with her. She was on maternity leave. They were like almost like, "Hey, I'm coming back in like a week," and then I think her husband got a job in Greenville, and they're like, "Oh, we're moving to Greenville." So
yes.
Now they're having to hire more people.
Not coming back.
Yeah. So.
And I tell you, industry is flowing up there. It's just like they said, there's 11 million jobs open, not just for landscapers or people in hospitality, but South Carolina doesn't have enough people with technology, and that's why so many young people are moving here, especially like that Greenville area. Charleston has blown up. Charleston will be part of Hilton Head, Bluffton, Savannah. It's going to be one. To me, I always say, you're going to go from Charleston to Beaufort. We're an island, so Bluffton to Savannah, because we can accommodate all those people on Hilton Head. But it's going to be like one town. Have you driven out?
All those areas, it's going to keep building
Beaufort
up.
lately?
Down 170?
Developments. Oh,
every time you drive it, it's different.
God.
With more and more stuff.
I was there on Saturday. I was asked to come and speak for Robert Small's birthday.
Oh.
Yes, I was on the panel. And
as in Robert Small's Parkway out there?
Yes.
Impressive.
And the mayor, along with a group, just purchased Robert Small's home in Beaufort. Beautiful home. It's on the front page of the Island Packet today. And it closed at $1.7 million, and it's going to become part of the National Park Service. With the federal government, so they will get money to help maintain that.
Is it down near Bay Street and all that, or is it?
And and I love those homes. If I was going to build a home here, it would have big columns and big porch upstairs, and
I want a Porsche upstairs so bad.
Oh, yeah. So just look out at
You
all
can find them in your neighborhood.
oak trees.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, in some areas, those type homes are not being built. They're restricted.
Yeah.
I can't see one of them in Palmetto News.
Mm-hmm.
If I won the $385 million lottery, I would put in for an oceanfront, antebellum home.
Mm-hmm.
I probably wouldn't get it. Not.
We were walking around Habersham yesterday, and those types of homes. I'm just like, man, I love the way these look, and then they're like classic like Southern home on the outside, but then inside is like modern like open concept. I'm just like, man, if I win the lottery, I want to get a house like this.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to win the lottery. I just want to sell more real estate.
There you go.
On Hilton Head in this market.
Yeah.
I'm not a real estate agent, so I need to win the lottery.
Yeah.
But you're related to one, right?
That's true.
So.
That's true.
Yeah, so that's what we need to do is be out there. And, there's opportunity. Like Al Brook always say, you got to make that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I agree, Daniel. I don't know
Shout
if
out
you're
to
going to
Daniel.
edit. Shout out to Daniel.
So what?
I don't know if he will have you cut that out.
No.
It's a
I
shout
can
out
stay.
to Daniel.
Oh, it's staying in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to go back to, you saw the photo, you were buying a house. I guess you were buying with a Dunes Realtor. How did you get in with Dunes after that? You just decided you want to get a real estate and you went and talked to Bill Baldwin, or?
Well, before we left Pennsylvania, I got my real estate license in 96, and I practiced up there because I have not had a job where people give me a paycheck since 1979, had my own business, and then when I met my husband, I started managing his practice, doing a lot of community service work. I have always volunteered, and I love doing a lot of community service. So I said, nah, I am not going to try to get a job because I can't work at 8 to 5, someone telling me what to do. I've always been very independent. And I said, I want to work with Dunes Real Estate because of the family connection. I consider the Self family my family. And because I did work for them, guess what? 6 weeks in one of those textile mills at night. I was still in high school. I worked 6 weeks at night. And I said, I am not going to work with my hands. I'm going to work with my head. Because that clapping and making all that fabric in that mill, oh my God. It was hard work.
Yeah.
It was hard work. So I interviewed Bill Baldwin. When I came in, Bill said, the realtor that I had at the time said, you have to talk to Bill Baldwin. He's tough. He said, he'll have to interview you to bring you in. I said, okay. So shout out to Bill. I love Bill and Lisa and the boys. And I went in Bill's office and sat down, and he said, I forget how he said it. And I said back to him, Bill, I'm here to interview you to see if I want to be here.
What'd he say?
He leaned back in his chair, and we just had a regular conversation.
Yeah.
We talked about all sorts of things. And
There you played that Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a background in human resources. I had worked for a major pharmaceutical company for 6 years in human resources. And as I was working my way up from being in a bank and working in different places, and I was just like soaking up everything, and I said, one of these days, every job I ever wanted, I got. I was never turned down for a job I wanted. And I said, I want to be on that other side of the desk. So I had a girlfriend working for, it was called Star Dental at that time, then Syntax Pharmaceutical in California, bought them out. And she said, Mary, I think there's a perfect job here for you. And she said, you should apply for this job. It was Assistant Director of Human Resources. So I went in, and we manufactured dental equipment. And at that time, a lot of companies were merging, so they bought out a injection plastic place up in Connecticut, brought that down to Montgomery County in Pennsylvania. And they had a dental manufacturer. They had 3 plants up in western, like Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and all those areas. We had a plant in Mexico, and we had one in Mexico, and that company at the time paid the same salary in Mexico that they were paying to the people here in the United States and in Puerto Rico. Yep. And so Syntex Pharmaceutical owned eyeglass companies, and they just had a variety. So I was there, and from there I went to the oil industry, the best job I ever had. And I was hiring people, and they only hired engineers that graduated from certain schools. So when we would advertise in the Wall Street Journal for engineers for the pharmaceutical and the dental manufacturing, if you weren't from certain schools, I just put all those resumes aside. They didn't even consider anyone that didn't come from 3 different schools that they wanted. We had a lot of
interesting
engineers from India. Yeah, even way back then. Yeah. Then I moved on to become administrative assistant to the president of Penn Central Energy, which was out of New York. And we had the pipelines along the East Coast, Oklahoma, California, refining, and so forth. Best job in the world.
Oh.
Even better than being a realtor?
Oh, yes. It was the best job in the world because they gave me a car. I had my own American Express card. And when my boss interviewed me, the guy in Human Resources said, I don't think that you will, fit in here. I said, and what is that supposed to mean? He said, well, this guy has gone through 3 assistants this year, and I don't know if you would fit in with him. I said, well, I want the interview with him anyway. I went in. The guy was from Scotland. He came from Gulf Oil up in Canada. We sat down, and we talked, and he said, if I asked you to go get me a cup of coffee, this was during the women's movement, would you go get it? I said, sure. I'd ask you what you like in it also. And I said, and then I turned the question on him. I said, if you were walking down towards the kitchen and I asked you to bring me a cup of coffee, would you bring me one? He said, yeah. He said, can you be a queen bee? I said, yes. Because, being the president, he had all these junior executives. Everybody's clamoring to get to the top. The oil industry was booming. We were doing business with Iran then and met a lot of foreign people in both the pharmaceutical industry and also in the oil industry. A lot of people from the Middle East we were doing business with. And they were great people. I met some really great people from China, and they were doing business with China way back then, too. It just wasn't publicized like it is now. But then I met my husband, and he wanted to move here, and that's how I got the Hilton Head. And I interviewed Bill, and Bill said, it's a go. Yeah.
It's probably a good way to talk to Bill, too, or
yes,
to break the ice, because like you said, he could be a little intimidating if you just let him
Bill was intimidating, but, all the experience I had behind me, I was confident. He wasn't going to just sit there and interview me, and I just said to him, I'm here to interview you, too. Yeah. See if I want to be here.
Because Bill was still there when I first came and but luckily for me, I didn't even know I was interviewing. Like, JR just brought me to the office. Yeah. And luckily, I was just like, okay, we're just talking, kind of like you.
I met you at Enterprise.
Oh, yeah. 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 I used to rent a car to every single realtor on the island. Yes. And JR happened to reach back out, and we kind of got
Jeff. Oh, it was JR.
JR was my original. He said, well, why don't you come to lunch, and I'll just tell you the good, the bad, everything you want to know. You can ask questions. And then he just said, hey, I work for Dunes Real Estate. Do you want to come see the office? Which at the time, Paul Daniels were renting from us all the time. We had to pick them up from So I remember the office just from pulling in, and sometimes I'd have to go get them. Most of the time we'd have a driver, but if we were short staffed, I'd go pick them up. And so I started piecing in. I know a lot of these people. Yeah. And then he's like, well, just come on by and check it out. Babe. Yeah. And Bill Baldwin was still there. And so next thing you know, he's like, just go sit in the conference room. Bill wants to come in and chat with you. And the next thing, Bill sits down, shuts the door. And I'm like, uh-oh.
I'm not prepared.
I always thought he had the radio voice. But I said, this guy's going to do great. Because I told Jeff Hunt, I said, Jeff, he's going to do great. I said, he has that voice and it's that personality, that big old smile. Yeah.
The voice might not help me in real estate. No, but it
helps you with this podcast.
Yeah. But then Jeff came in later because they basically said, like,
Yeah.
we're not going to take as a brand new agent because, I mean, I didn't know anything. Didn't have family in real estate, nothing. And that's when they said Jeff and Bill and those guys are looking to maybe grow a team. So that's the only avenue. And I just jumped at that. But
And he
Bill
was
Baldwin,
always studying. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Then I found out he was, Clemson Tiger.
Wait,
You
I
made
thought
me
you were a Gamecocks fan.
No.
Oh.
No.
You know that far
And
and
then I
away. He
made-
says it. You made me a
Coaster.
handmade coaster
With
with
Clemson
Clemson on it.
Tigers
That was very nice.
That's why he's got the orange cable on his mic.
Yep.
Oh, that's why he has the orange cable.
Yeah.
You know that.
Which South Carolina,
outfit.
credit to them, they won the national championship last night, women's
Yes,
basketball. So
women
we'll give
basketball.
them
Yay.
that. Yeah.
Is the men's done yet, or is it still going on?
Men's is tonight.
Who is in it?
Kansas versus North Carolina.
Yeah. Oh my God, I feel sorry
Sorry.
for Duke. I always like.
Yeah,
Duke.
that Duke UNC
I
game
love
was Saturday night,
Duke.
though. Coach K's last game, they hated rivals. North Carolina
Yeah.
had just beat them at his final home game, so it was
Right.
their chance for
Right.
redemption and to go to the national championship and hopefully maybe win it his last season. And North Carolina beat them again in a close game.
But let me tell you,
Ooh.
that Kansas. I don't watch that stuff. My husband is an addict for sports. But when I saw that Kansas City guys, they were showing like some pictures afterward. I said, Kansas gonna win. They're gonna go out. That Kansas is tough.
Oh, and they've blown everybody out.
Oh,
for the
they're
most
gonna
part.
bullet. You know,
Closest
I love-
game they had was they were down at half one game, and then they ended up winning by 20-something points.
They
So,
are hungry.
Yeah,
You know,
they're good.
they are hungry, and North
wasn't
Carolina
that
is
good this
hungry
year.
also.
They've gotten so hot. I don't know if
Yeah.
they had people come back from injury, but they weren't that. They were 8 seed, so they didn't like they had some great season. They've just gotten on fire.
Yes.
So you
and
got some really hot team versus probably, I would assume, but probably just a better, more talented team. So
I think
we'll
you
see.
just gotta want it. They want it so bad,
Mm-hmm.
and when those two teams play, it is going to be awesome. I'm not going to watch because I'm one of these people.
I'm not gonna watch it either.
I can't stand.
My
I get-
neighbors went to Kansas. He's a diehard Kansas fan. So I'll probably watch it with him tonight. But,
Yes, yeah.
You can't stand what?
I can't stand to watch it when a team. I always kind of go
when
with
it's
the
like-
one that wins at the end.
Yeah.
So I don't have a. I do have some clients. From
It's hard to
North
watch
Carolina. I
sometimes when
better
you
be
see those
careful.
guys fighting everything they have, and
my-
then they lose, and you're
And
just
then they're
"Ooh."
like jumping, and I thought the guy was just going to rip the bat. The what do you call this thing?
The what?
With the ball. Because you know I'm not into sports.
The backboard?
No, the where the ball goes in, the hoop,
The hoop. Oh, the rim.
the rim.
Yeah.
The goal.
They are like,
Oh,
and I'm like,
yeah.
they're gonna pull that out.
Yeah.
Remember Charles Barkley?
Mm-hmm.
He used to break those backboards.
Shaq too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Jordan even broke one. He wasn't even that big, but he broke one at one point.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see it as much anymore, though.
No, because
Back in
they
the day,
have-
you'd see people
Oh,
breaking
yeah.
like.
They definitely fixed that issue.
Yes. They're like, how can we
Definitely.
solve this? Make them more
After
durable.
they fixed it, yeah, they
But it was
fixed
cool
that.
to see when it happened.
Oh,
I'm sure it had to stop the game. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'll get all the glass off the court. But.
And Tom Brady is back. Yay!
Yeah, you're a Tom Brady fan?
Yeah.
His coach just retired
Yes, he did.
right after he announced he was coming back. So it's just like,
I
man, that's a
wonder
lot
what happened
happening.
there.
I don't know.
He said part of his decision to step down was Brady coming back.
Oh,
Really?
he
Yeah,
did?
I saw that somewhere online.
Look,
What do you mean? Like he just
Like he was like, yeah,
I love Tom Brady.
done.
I think he's a great guy. Tom Brady. He is not flashy. He's not. I don't like all these guys out here like all flashy and everything. Tom
Just
Brady
like it,
is.
yeah.
He's
just get the job done.
yeah,
And,
get the job done.
he was
And-
retired for what, like 3 weeks?
if that. Yep.
What a great
I
retirement!
think everybody kind of probably knew deep down, like, it's probably not the last we've seen.
How old is he now?
He's like 44,
Yeah.
43, 44.
How old did
around
Favre
there.
play till?
Probably
Oh,
less
he
than
was
that.
Great. Oh, he was great.
He's probably
He
42.
just seemed like he was just like his last year. He seemed like he was just
He looked much older than Tom Brady does
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
But Tom
Yeah.
Brady at this point, he either was the same age or younger. I would get. I don't think Farr played till he was like 45 or 46. I mean,
Yeah.
he was probably like 42 when he
Look,
retired.
let me tell you, those guys, when they wake up in the morning, they have to shovel them out of the bed.
Oh,
Their bodies
couldn't
are
imagine.
so bad.
Couldn't imagine.
They
I couldn't
might
imagine
look
like
good.
back in the day, like Nolan Ryan pitched till he was like 46.
He was still throwing heat.
And he was
until
still throwing
46.
like high 90s but every time he would pitch 7, 8, 9 innings. Pitchers today pitch 4, 5, 6 innings, and he was just up there just 46 years old,
Yes.
just still throwing no hitters.
Slinging heat.
I'm like, how could you possibly? I go play softball one night, I can't lift my arm.
Well, you don't
Just from
train
throwing
every
it.
day.
And that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
You got to
But
be
still,
training. You
four-
got to be in the ice tub.
I mean, like right now, if you were to like tear your ACL, you'd be toast for like 8,
I'd
9
be
months,
out
Yeah.
for so
or
long.
like a year longer. Those dudes have
They
like,
can- yeah.
their recovery
they have
time
a
is
full
like
training thing.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
And it wasn't as good as like it is nowadays. Back
Yeah.
then, I mean, you had trainers, but nowadays it's like Tom Brady his body's probably just.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
but-
also
Top shape.
probably eats like
Oh, yeah. He's on a
only
special
the absolute
diet.
best, and
Oh yeah,
He doesn't eat junk.
yeah.
He does not touch
Which I wouldn't
junk.
either if I had
Everything
money
is
like that.
organic that he eats.
I'd
And
have a personal chef and make
Yeah.
me the best possible
pot garden.
food
Pot garden.
and a pot garden for many different activities.
And grow you some chickens in the backyard. Get your protein.
Josh Gordon had a placard.
That doesn't surprise me.
That's probably why he got suspended so many times.
But, yeah.
I might have to cut that part out.
Yeah, you better cut that part out. Well, you might be liable.
Have I told you
for
about
something.
my family that owns the farm in Orangeburg?
Are they
No.
growing pot?
They were one of the 20. They had, their company was Carolina Fresh Farms, but they had a sodding company. But then it's kind of like landscaping. They can do pavers and fire pits, but then they were one of the 20-something that were accepted in South Carolina to grow that for CBD. So they've been selling nothing but like CBD oil, gummies, all this stuff. But I mean, they have like a full-on warehouse.
Oh,
where
yes.
it's growing. But that's the thing. Once it's legalized, I don't know
hope
what
not.
the plans
I
would be.
hope
But if
not.
it was, they have an entire facility ready to go. Like they're way ahead of the game from anybody trying to catch up, and probably way ahead of
Look.
even 15 of the other farmers because they just don't have the.
Look, let me tell you what's going to happen. They
technology.
legalize it. If it gets legalized all across the United States, all people have to do is put them a pot on the porch and grow their own. They won't have to buy it. Government thinking
that's
they're
true.
going to make a whole bunch of money.
That's true.
Anybody can grow pot. You get a little greenhouse, basement with
Yeah, I
some
don't know where
land.
it's going to go, but
But I think that's where it's going to go.
It could be.
How can you keep it all just like? Look at all the wine companies and the beer makers now. All of these. Anybody can start a business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, my son is thinking about making some moonshine legally. He's toying with the idea of doing all of his research because he knows how to make it.
yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't take much to make it. You just got to be regulated so you don't make anybody sick. And I think we should have some very strenuous laws with regards to that mass production. But if you grow some marijuana in a pot in your backyard and nobody sees it, just cut it, hang it upside down. I watch that stuff on TV. You can learn anything on. You go to Google, and Google can tell you how to make anything.
Yeah, we were curious how you knew so much.
Well, I know so much because at one time I did work for a police department.
Yeah, I bet he saw some stuff.
Yeah, I've been a trailblazer,
Yeah.
and
Sounds
when
like
it comes to getting jobs, because when I always loved the law, and I was like 21 when I was living in Pennsylvania, and they were trying to hire women to be in communications. This was in the suburban area of Philadelphia, to be in communication, dispatcher that. And they had the job in the paper, and I said, "Oh, I would love to do that." And they paid for the education. I never paid for education. Every job I ever had, that back then, companies paid your tuition. You all probably too young to remember that. But companies used to pay. You had insurance through the company, very low rates if you had any at all. Then they also paid for tuition reimbursement. I always talked my way into getting mine first, So one had to get reimbursed. I negotiated that with a couple of companies because I was attending Villanova, and that was, it was cheap back then. But but
Still
back
not cheap.
then it was not cheap.
Correct.
Yeah, and so you agree to stay with the company for so long, and they would reimburse you if you left before that time. You reimburse them, and they pay for your books, everything.
Wow.
So there was opportunity, but now I don't know of many companies that are doing that because, taxes are high. You got to pay more salary and so forth. But I interviewed for the job, and the sergeant said to me, if you can make it 90 days, then they won't be able to run you out of the communications room. They had 2 women. One had lasted, the longest she lasted was 6 weeks. The other one after a couple of weeks, because they were all men in the communications, because you dispatch fire and police. And as a woman, you had to also, when they would arrest a woman, because they had no female police officer, many nights I had to go with the police department when they were arresting women and then take them to Norristown to the county jail. And so, these guys were tough. But I kept telling them, 11 girls, 7 boys. I'm used to boys, men. And I said, you ain't got nothing I haven't seen. And because we were in the farmhouse, 14 kids and 2 adults, 3 bedrooms. Now they got to have a bedroom for every child. It's the law now. You can't put, it was girls in bedroom, boys in the bedroom. And so I stayed there. And I started going to Harcum College, and they paid my tuition. I chose the night shift, and then I worked on weekends. And whenever they would have like a drug bust, and they would call me sometime 3 o'clock in the morning when I was off duty. Well, we have these women here, and they have to be searched. And they couldn't do that. They didn't do that. They didn't search any women. Before that, they would have like nurses on call to search women.
Huh.
Yeah. That made sense.
Yes.
Because if you had women you were arresting and the guys are patting them down and having them to bend over.
Yeah.
Makes
Makes 100% sense.
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
So it was a great opportunity to learn those things and learn about the law. But when I said I was a trailblazer, there were many jobs I went to, interviewed, got the job, and surpassed all of the guys discriminating against the women. I was told I was taking a man's job. This one guy, this one little sergeant who did not like the idea of women being in the communication room at all. You're taking a man's job. I said, women aren't supposed to feed their children either. It was tough, but I was never so disrespectful that they could write me up. And I had this wonderful lieutenant that was there that was over the whole operation. And we used to sit and have conversations. And after 90 days, I went from that yellow slip to a full-time employee. I walked in that communication room and I said to the guys, I want to tell you all something. I am full-time now. I passed the test. I ain't taking no more crap. I didn't use this C word. I used the S word. Off of you guys anymore.
It's dropping the hammer.
Because I was the best.
Yeah.
I was the best that they had. And this was way back when Lower Marion Township still had that thing you push in to it, board lit up, and you push that in to.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. So it was tough times. So
Yeah.
I figure I can do any job.
Yeah.
Real estate was just using my personality and learning about the law and contracts. But the one big difference from real estate in Hilton Head and Pennsylvania was MLS and the Association of Realtors all one up there. You pay one fee. And their contract in Pennsylvania was 14 pages legal size. And at that time, they had those carbon copy sheets. Mm-hmm. You all know about that, right? You've heard about it. You guys don't know a lot about old time. But we had 3 copies, and you had to write hard enough to get through
so
the
they would
copy.
go to the ones below, yeah.
And then they went to took the carbon copy out, and then put what's called the paper where you just write on it goes through, like what we have now.
Yeah.
And they always had, when I moved down here, I was shocked that there was no seller disclosures when I moved here. And I said, where's the seller disclosure? The seller's supposed to disclose. Mm-hmm. They didn't have that in 2000. Right. And they didn't have agency. And I said, I have to work as an agency because why am I going to work for someone and not get paid because they can just walk away?
Yeah.
And so shortly after that, they had agency and seller disclosure. We didn't always
So what
have
was it, like an honor system almost before that?
Yes.
Like you just trusted people to be like, yeah, I'll pay you. And,
in 2000.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with the house. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, because they didn't have that.
Yeah.
You couldn't do agency. Now things have changed. People have gotten more sophisticated. Everybody is on the internet doing their research about real estate. So when they come to you, like we always say in the meetings, they have already seen the houses. And they think they're smarter than realtors. There's still a lot of people think they know our business better than us. We do it every day. And I've had people sort of like walk away because they want to tell me that they want it done their way. I said, I have to do it the legal way. I stick by the book. And if you want to work with me, I'm going to give you the best service there is, because if you see me riding around town, my tag on my car says to serve, and that's what I do for my clients. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be going to help one of my clients to cover some bar stools this afternoon. Yeah,
Love and beyond.
I have the equipment. Oh yeah,
yeah.
I go beyond.
Yeah.
I go beyond. Yesterday, one of my clients was sitting at the table with some other people that didn't know me, and so she said, and her husband said also, if you all want somebody to give you service after, you need to know Mary. So if you're going to buy and sell, you need to know Mary. And one person, this other couple came up and to meet us, and they said, oh, we just bought a house in Palmetto Dunes. And I said, oh, who is your agent? One guess.
In Palmetto Dunes?
In our office.
Jeff Hunt.
Jeff Hunt. And I told him, I said, his name is my Jeff.
Yeah.
I said, he's my Jeff.
Yeah.
Great guy. Yeah. Great guy. They love Jeff.
Yeah.
I put a shot in there for Jeff.
Yeah.
Which he doesn't need. He doesn't need mine.
Yeah. But it's good to know. I mean, I've seen him helping you and you going to him. And
yes, and I always tell people, I say, Dunes Real Estate is a family. We're not a real estate company. When we're together on paper, legally, we're a company. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that I've known in being here since 2000, we're a family. Everybody that comes in, if you don't fit into the family, I don't think you're going to be there long because we help each other. Yeah. That is the one thing. I'm not going to help that person because they might do better than me. But once you help people, it always come back to you. And you serve, and we're always there to help each other. Mm-hmm. And that's what I really love about our company is that we are a family. Yeah. And we will help each other out. And plus, I mean, Daniel just feeds us so much stuff. And, when you get to be an older person like me, I'm not, like I said on paper, but the one thing that our company provides, there is nothing, I tell people, there's nothing that you can ask for that you can't get help on. Mm-hmm. And we get all of this information that we may never use, but the opportunity is there to learn from it. Mm-hmm. And that is so important. Because I hear other realtors, and I know a lot of other realtors, and they complain, well, nobody in the office want to help you. It's like they want to do better than you or whatever. I said I couldn't work in a place that. Yeah. No, it's got to be we're one big team, we're one big family, and we're there to help each other. And I think that's why Dunes does so well.
Yeah.
Is because people know our reputation, and other realtors from other companies said, you know, I wanted to come with Dunes, and I couldn't get in. And I'm just saying to myself in my mind, you probably wouldn't be a good fit because you got to be in that environment. You got to want that environment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think the majority of our people have the mindset of, because you see the ones that give back, and and you know, I have many that I've called on over the year, and their business is always improving.
Yeah.
They're not worried about, because they know, hey, and it's like you said, you give and you get in return,
Right.
because they know, hey, I'm giving my time, I'm trying to help bring somebody else
Yes.
up. So not only are they getting better,
Yes.
but it's helping me be better as well. So.
Yes. And we do a lot in the community. Like right now, we're helping Palmetto Dunes Cares, which is the nonprofit for Palmetto Dunes. They're having a food drive for Sandalwood,
Yeah.
one of the food banks. And I asked them, I said, just send me the notice. I'll pass it on. And now there's food in the hallway. And we're going to be turning it over to them this weekend. And then we did another one not too long ago for Gloria's Church was collecting. And last year, year before last, we had a drive for supplies for the schools over at Hilton Head. And I asked if we could participate, and it was wonderful. Because my church was spearheading this, and I said, I want to put a little note up in my company, and we needed supplies for the school because they have like a little store at the high school, the middle school, and the elementary school there are kids that come to school that said their clothes are dirty because they don't have laundry detergent. They don't have toothpaste. They don't have toothbrushes. And we're supplying all of these needs, and that helped us as well, that we are not just for ourselves. We want to lift up our community and help people, and that is what I think is very special as well. And there are other companies out there. You see some trucks driving around with people's pictures on them, and I said, I wonder if we should get a truck. Nah.
Well, with gas the way it is, I don't know.
I don't know either. Yeah, I wonder how many moves they're gonna make with all that.
You start doing the enterprise renter car, you got to bring it back with a full tank. Figure it out. But.
Yeah. Oh God, even my little car.
Yeah.
I mean, I only like to get gas where I get points and get discount on my gas.
Yeah, like I got Kroger
I was
gas.
over in Buford.
Trying to buy groceries and get better gas prices.
So I said, okay, I need some gas. I might get stuck in traffic coming back to Hilton on a Saturday afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, okay, I'm going to stop here. I'm just going to get a little bit. Get $25 worth. It was only like 6 gallons. And I'm like, oh, it didn't even go that far. I already had some. It only went barely over the halfway mark.
Yeah.
My little car, it's like $50-something to fill it up.
Yeah.
And what just breaks my heart is because I know there's so many workers coming over to the island, and they have to probably put a gallon going and a gallon coming back because they just can't afford those prices.
Yeah.
And they keep their cars up. It is crazy out there.
And then sitting in traffic on top of it.
Yes, especially like in that morning. And if you're leaving here like between 3:30 to 5 o'clock, don't try to get off the island. Yeah.
Always busy.
Yeah.
Every day
Yeah.
of my life.
Yeah. So what we're doing, and a lot of people, I have a small group I meet with at church. We're buying gift cards to give to people that we know to help in the community so they can go and get some gas. People are breaking down on the highway, and then they'll come and give you like a gallon of gas so you could get home.
Yeah.
But I wish we could promote in this area more public transportation and have some of the companies to help subsidize the workers that would use it. Park and ride off island, and then
shuttle
shuttle them in. I've been talking about that since before I moved here. and because
even
you
just
can
to
see
help
it
with
coming.
lower traffic. You get that many
Yeah.
less cars. With everybody's in one car individually for the most part. It's not a whole lot of carpooling, I don't think here.
No.
So,
Yeah, and when I
you get a
lived in
few of those
Pennsylvania,
running with
yeah,
30, 40 people on there. I mean, that's
right.
a few hundred cars extra off the road
Right.
every morning. So
Because we had a lot of people coming from Philadelphia to Montgomery County when I was working for the pharmaceutical company. And the company, the person who had 2 or more people in their car, the company helped subsidize them so that they wouldn't have people be late for work. Because the person who had the car, it I paid for his car. I remember my friend, his name, George Wallace. A lot of people know who George Wallace is. But my good friend, he was a supervisor in our manufacturing plant. He had 5 people in his car every day driving from Philadelphia. It paid for his car.
I bet.
Yeah, because these people, public transportation wasn't that great to come out there then. And he had 5 people in his car. The company gave him an incentive, cash incentive, to be carpooling. And they used to push that a lot in Pennsylvania, to carpool.
Yeah.
But now you see one person in a car. Doesn't make sense. If I lived off island and I was working a 9 to 5, I would be recruiting people to ride and pay for my car.
Yeah. Or even just rotate. Everybody take a day. And,
Well, some people don't have cars.
oh, that's true. Yeah.
These people didn't have cars. They would have to take public transportation. So he would pick them up in the morning, bring them. Whenever he was going to be on vacation or had to take time off, there were other people that carpooled from the city as well out to the suburbs, and they would do it, cover them that way. But there are a lot of things we could do here. We don't promote carpooling at all.
No.
Never hear it at all. And I don't know what the companies are doing, like in the hospitality industry and so forth, but I don't hear anyone saying that they're promoting that in their companies. Yeah. So it will help people. I want to carpool to church. Yeah. I want to call up a few people. You want to go to church?
Yeah.
I'll carpool you.
It's fun to carpool.
I'm on the island. Yeah. Get them some transportation and save them at the same time.
Yep.
All right, Mary, are you ready for the tough questions of the day? These are the hard-hitting journalistic questions that our viewers want.
Okay, yes.
Are you golf or tennis person?
I dabble in both.
Dabble in both. That's the first both we've gotten.
Oh, yes. I'm known for my tennis outfits and my golf outfits.
John?
Am I up?
Yep.
That was quick.
We normally rotate these.
John is not with us this morning. John, you need some more coffee?
I need some more. I told you he didn't sleep much last night, so I'm running on empty today. But
Bless his heart.
Yeah, he's I don't know what was wrong. Favorite restaurant on the island?
Alexander.
Right in PD.
It's a good choice.
Yep, it's good.
Yes, good choice. Close walk.
Yep, true. Yeah,
Beach or boat?
if you have a little too many drinks.
You say the beach or boat?
Beach or boat?
Oh, it's got to be the beach. I'm not a big water person. Remember, I told you my brother almost drowned me. I go over to Defusky on the ferry. I always sit on the life jackets. I told him I need 2. I need 2. 1 for here and 1 for here. Keep me afloat.
Steak or seafood? If you had to.
Well, I would have to say it is a tie between Chilean sea bass and steak out at Longhorn.
Oh,
I love Longhorn steak. They
yeah,
make
good
good
steaks.
steak.
Good steaks.
Yeah, I'm there so much that they give me these cards to come back and get a
Really?
free appetizer.
Well, if you're there, you get a free appetizer every time. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I definitely need to go get some food.
Yeah,
after
maybe
this.
switch that up.
Oh, they have good steak there. Yeah.
I haven't been to Longhorn in a while. I need to go.
Oh, yes.
It's been a couple of years for me, but I used to go more. But
And I love their manager out there. The employees are so friendly. I don't go out there a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But whenever I'm out there, my grandson and I, he loves steak. Mm-hmm. So we go out there.
We've just been we're more to-go people now. So we do like Outbacks right down the road. We do Outback to go like all the time. So we don't have to go sit down and do all that, especially with the base. So it's just easy. Like, put them down and get, I got a little egg.
Oh, you got one of the eggs? Mm-hmm. You need
I used it yesterday.
You need a flat top griddle.
Oh, no.
Do you have an air fryer?
We don't actually.
Oh,
you don't have an air fryer?
My goodness!
I've given like 3 air fryers as Christmas gifts, but I don't have one myself.
Get the Ninja Foodie if you don't want a great big. I have the Ninja Foodie.
We need to get one of those.
Vegetable, salmon. I buy salmon the whole slab. Then I go up to the counter. You buy it when it's whole. It's much cheaper. Mm-hmm. So I go up there and say, "Could you cut this for me, please?" And then I take it home, season it, put it in the freezer. Same thing with chicken, beef. Come home, put it in an air fryer.
Yeah.
Done.
I hear there.
Dude, let me
Best
tell you.
bacon cooker.
Air fryer, and you need a flat top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just made
I know a few other people have flat tops.
chicken.
Love it.
Chicken and like steak hibachi the other night. Karina's family came over, and I cooked. Basically, I filled the entire top of the griddle up with rice.
Yeah.
And basically made it like you would go to like hibachi
Yeah.
restaurant. Made it just like that.
Yeah.
It's so good. Or you have like people over for breakfast, you throw like 12, 14 eggs on there. You fry them all up at the same time. Bacon on there at the same time
knock
too.
it all out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bacon grease on those eggs, right?
Oh.
Oh, man.
There's nothing better. And then you don't have to re-season the top of the griddle. You just use
That's
the bacon
right.
grease. Take
That's
paper towel, wipe it on top. Boom, now it's seasoned. You just let it go. It won't rust.
You know what I think you should do?
Start a cooking show.
You should that sounds good. Bring it into the office and demonstrate it for us for a week.
Yeah.
For a week.
Good.
All breakfast food one week, and then the next week do a dinner, and let us all eat it. And
Wait, who's going to take all the photos of the listings though? If I'm cooking all day.
no, you're not. You're going to be cooking breakfast. You make
So I had to come in before. Oh,
Yeah, you get there early, cook.
for
And
the
we show
people.
up, eat.
Yeah, people in
Routine.
the office, and then you could do like dinner, so we can get the recipes, and then we'll be convinced to buy that.
Oh, you know what we can do? I'll bring it in because I've got 25-foot cables on these. We can do a podcast while I'm cooking.
Yes, and I'll supply you the apron like I did your mask. Wasn't that a cool mask?
It was a cool mask. Oh man,
He had cameras on his.
she made me a custom mask with cameras on my mask. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got so many
seriously.
because I'm a photographer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my mind went somewhere else, like built-in cameras. And I'm like, why would you need that? But yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'll make
That's
you.
cool.
Hey,
that.
I'll make you an apron, and it'll be the same material with all these different cameras on it.
All right, now we have to have a special episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Okay. Any more hard questions?
That's all I got.
I guess
I
I
think that's
answered
it.
everything
I
already,
gotta get
right?
something to eat. So,
Yeah, I need to go eat and get some more coffee.
well, we appreciate you
Oh,
coming
I
on and
appreciate
spending
it.
time. We learned a lot.
Mary, where can everybody find you? Plug your socials, your website.
Okay. I'm going to give my phone number first.
Go
because
ahead.
My phone number is out there. People say, I don't give your phone number out. I said, why not? It's all over the internet. It's Mary Amonitti, Amonitti. But if you just type just Mary, 843-540-4901. My email is maryhhirealtor@gmail.com. And just go to Dune's real estate website and type in Mary. 2 will come up, but you will know this Mary.
The one, the only.
The one and only.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it was
Awesome.
such a privilege to be here this
Yeah.
morning.
Mary, thank you for joining us. It was a blast.
Yeah. I got up. I had my hair all curled and everything, makeup perfect, and then you put these things on my head. I cannot believe that. I want the stuff they have on the news where you just put the little thing in your ear.
Daniel,
We got to step up our game.
Now,
can we up the podcast
what
production
do I
budget?
look like with this on my?
You look fine.
You look fantastic.
Yeah. I mean,
You guys will say anything.
No. I mean, he looks a little dopey, but
Well, we know.
Yeah.
If he didn't get the pot question, we know he's not awake yet.
maybe mine's not even on. Maybe that's why I can't hear it.
John's in a dream right now.
Fun. When can I do it again? I want to do it often.
I mean,
we'll get you as a special guest on the one where he's cooking. So that'll be the next one.
Yeah, I'll be in. We have that beautiful kitchen upstairs.
we do.
Yes, beautiful kitchen. You bring that grill in just one day. We'll do a
Then you gotta take it up the
podcast,
stairs.
and I'm going to be your assistant.
Okay.
And we'll have John on there too.
By the way, shout out to Amanda for designing that kitchen.
Oh, Amanda designed that?
Yeah. Amanda picked everything out.
Awesome. Hey, Amanda, wherever you are.
She also did the bathrooms too.
Well,
Uh-oh.
they open right into the kitchen.
Okay, we love the kitchen
We
now.
love the kitchen. I love the kitchen. I love that refrigerator. Oh,
refrigerator.
my goodness. And thank you, Amanda, for ordering that new coffee pot. I do not have to have, I'm giving mine to the Salvation Army or Goodwill.
Oh, that
'Cause
industrial
I had
Keurig?
my own little Keurig in my office. So we had started buying our own little Keurigs because, you know, COVID was here and nobody was coming in the office. Didn't want to make a whole, I don't like to waste. I don't like to waste anything. So I bought a little Keurig and I'm going to give it to someone else that they could use. Yeah, but that one we have now is
I didn't even know they made industrial Keurigs like that. That's cool. It's like hardwired into
yes, the water.
the water.
Yeah.
So you don't have to fill the
Fill
tank.
that up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for someone like me who drinks a lot of coffee,
Yeah.
I could have one of those at home. To
We need to have a coffee podcast now too. So we'll have a cooking one. We'll do one about coffee. Get Bill Kelly talking about how he,
Oh my God.
scolded
I got my
himself.
sports podcast. We
There
got
you go.
we're covering a lot of topics. So.
Yes. So, what other topics did you cover that I haven't heard? Okay, tell me a little bit about Pete.
Pete. Well, you can hear his episode. I think that we're
Is
a little,
it up? Is
we're,
it up
we're a
yet?
little late on that one. I think it's going to come out today or tomorrow.
Oh, good. Then I want to hear that.
I need to hear it too.
Yeah. I love how
Yeah,
Pete
interested.
talks about real estate, give you some great tips on how to do things. See, that's what I'm talking about, our company.
We ended up talking about golf for a little while.
Pete is over at the Masters today.
Is he
Yeah, he's
He's
going to
there?
be there.
this week?
Yep. Tiger is playing.
Lucky man.
Yeah.
We
But he
talked
told
about
me-
Tiger for a little while.
Yeah.
Well, he's out there. He's hitting the ball well, but he doesn't think he can walk 18 holes.
Oh, really?
We need to have another Heritage podcast too.
Yeah.
Next week
Yeah, I mean,
Heritage is
shoot,
coming up next week. Yeah.
We're gonna have like 5 or 6
we'll
podcasts.
go live from the Heritage.
Yeah.
Are you going?
I don't know, but if we're doing this, I will.
I'm with you.
They won't
you-
let
are
us
you
in
going?
Oh,
on
yeah.
that.
What day are you going?
I don't know, but I'll make any day.
I think we're going Thursday.
I'll make
haven't
it.
even
So we can do a
thought about
podcast down there. Do you know that when it was like MCI Heritage and then it was the other thing, that we used to have a tent down there?
I remember.
Yeah, I volunteered for that tent. Yeah.
that back.
Thousands of people come by our tent. And they used to have like this row of tents with like vendors. And
I remember it very well.
Dunes Real Estate. Yep.
What we need to do, when I was at Enterprise, they used to rent a house there for the week. And they would bring like the managers in. So one day was this, one day was this, and everybody could come one day.
We had a
during the week,
house.
Take
We-
a day off work, but then you had a house full of drinks, food,
Yep.
everything's supplied. It's
We
all
had
right there,
that.
and you could just pop in and out of your house. I was like,
Yep.
talk
Dunes
to Daniel,
had a
see if we
house.
can rent a house for a day or two for dudes. That'd be nice.
Yeah. Or somebody we know down there that has one with love. For,
Or that.
yeah. Mm-hmm. But
Do you still have those clients down there?
Remember the
Oh,
remember the
anybody-
house I listed right there? You
Yeah.
remember when you came and shot it?
Yeah.
And that was the year the Heritage got canceled. Listed it right next to the 18th green.
Oh, no.
5 stories with a rooftop.
Oh.
Bottom floor was a
That
barn.
was literally the perfect
the
place.
perfect
for
house
that.
for Heritage. And then
Yeah.
that was when COVID hit, and Heritage. Now it came back, I think, in
Yeah.
June.
Yeah.
But they had no spectators.
Uh-huh.
But that was the year that I had it
Yeah.
listed and sold it. I'm like, you can't even do anything with it. You can't even let people see it during the week because nobody was there.
That's
I'm like,
right.
That's crazy.
Oh,
But
wow.
still sold. It was good, but
Yeah.
that was an awesome house for
Yeah.
the
It
Heritage.
was.
Yeah.
Well, again, guys, I got to go do some work.
Yeah.
Um,
We appreciate
and
it.
I have a luncheon today that, you got to be out there promoting yourself. And I just want to thank you for having me.
Thank you for
I'd
joining
be
us.
willing to come back at any time.
Yeah.
We
I'm
can
gonna have to
talk
bring the
about
grill.
it. Yeah. We're going to do that over there.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
If they'll let me bring it inside, I'll do it.
I'm one of these people. You see this little fire pen here,
Yeah.
flame, that if you're going to do something, you got to put a date on it. Okay, get your phone out. When can we do it?
I mean,
Okay, we're going to do a podcast on, you're going to bring your grill in, and we're going to make breakfast for the people on duty that day. And the admin staff that, so great, our administrative staff, and then that way you can prepare breakfast for them. I'm looking at my calendar. You can't.
see, here's my issue. I don't know how I'm going to get the griddle here.
It's probably not light.
It's not light, and
is, though?
I don't have a truck.
I thought you had bought a truck.
No, I have an SUV like you.
Oh, you need a big. How big is this thing?
Pretty big.
Pretty big, but it's a giant cast iron top, so it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's a
You're,
lot.
you're a big guy.
Okay, it's still not
Are
going to
you
fit in my
weak?
car. No, I could pick it up, but it's not going to fit in my car.
Oh, it's too big to put in your
Yeah.
SUV, even with the seats down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You got to take. You have a picture of that thing? Because I'm telling you, I'm thinking you talking about a grill that you can cook in your house on that.
No.
Nah.
No.
This is like a
You don't
big-
have
this is
ventilation
real-
for
No,
that.
this is like an outdoor, like
Oh,
propane.
then we won't be able to do it
Yeah.
up in the kitchen. But,
but we can
you
do it
can
outside. Yeah.
and then we'll take
It's
food
like-
up
it's
to
like
the
that.
kitchen. Okay, you need to get a truck.
Tell that to my fiance.
John's got a truck. Don't you still have your
I
truck?
got a Tahoe.
No, I mean that. You remember you had a truck.
Oh, yeah, I
With
don't
the
have that
back
anymore.
open.
Yeah, I don't have that anymore.
Okay,
you
who's got
you
a
had
truck?
a truck?
Yeah, he had a truck.
Was it lifted?
No.
Thank God.
No, I just had a Tacoma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
You weren't one of those guys.
That was the only thing I drove until I got into real estate. And then I was like, I don't think I can fit
Nobody
clients
has
driving
a
around in a Tacoma. So I had to
Nobody-
get that's when I got a 4Runner, I think.
Yeah.
And then
You know
I got
what?
the Tahoe.
After we finish the podcast, we'll figure out how we can get the griddle here.
Yeah.
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 Then,
And I bet you those people next door at the rental company probably want to come out there and eat too. We can
you know,
get them.
let's
We'll
have to
get
make
them
a
the.
day out of it.
We'll get them the supply of the food.
She's a genius.
Yep.
I am.
Mary Amonitti.
Mary Amonitti, everybody. Make sure to tune in for this episode and the next episode and the episode after that, and always on Friday at 1 p.m.
I'm always available.
Behind the Dunes podcast. Make sure to call Mary for
Yes.
anything that you need.
Call Mary and share.